Hey YouTube, it's Patrick, and today's video was inspired by an article I read this morning entitled "Bitcoin Doesn't Give a Rip About Your Legal Parameters." Now this article was out of, I think, Crypto News. I'll link it all below. It's by Calvin Tran, and in this Calvin states that governments don't control Bitcoin, that Bitcoin controls governments. And there's also a really funny video that follows, so please check it out. This was in response to an article by The Atlantic that states that Bitcoin can be no longer considered a currency. And in this argument, they point to this blog post by this Georgetown law professor, Adam Levitin. He states that due to a new IRS ruling that Bitcoin will be recognized under capital gains tax, that it's not fungible. And fungible is basically one unit can be exchanged out for another. So say that I had a $10 bill, I give someone a $10 bill and they give me a $10 bill back. Those two $10 bills are the same, they're going to be able to buy the same amount of goods. And where he argues now with Bitcoin, if you bought a Bitcoin at $10, it's now worth $400. You also have another Bitcoin that you bought for $390 and it's now worth $400. You're going to treat these two Bitcoins differently. And that's true up to a certain extent. I don't think it makes it any less fungible. I can still combine those Bitcoins. I can still break those Bitcoins down into further and exchange them for goods. He's comparing to Bitcoins to it's more like a commodity or good like a house. But try buying a Dell computer with a house, or try paying your Dish Network subscription with a house, which you can with Bitcoin. And I also look at gold. I compare this to gold a lot because you can buy a piece of gold or gold bullion or a gold coin for $2,000, and you can get lucky and buy one for $1,000, or maybe you can get unlucky and get ripped off and buy one for $3,000. Obviously, there's the capital gains and losses. The same with these, but yet gold still, pretty much until we were taken off the gold standard, was the definition for a currency. I'm positive I could still trade gold as a currency with somebody out there. I know I can. So basically, gold is a currency. It's taxed through capital gains, and it's it's harder. It's a little less fungible since you have to smelt it down and then break it down into little parts. But nevertheless, still fungible. Even though I might have bought a piece of gold bullion for the same, let's give the same example, for $10 and now it's worth $400, and I bought one for $390 that's now worth $400, I'm still going to smelt them down and basically sell them or trade them. So I just don't understand his argument here. There's a lot of people that don't either understand Bitcoin or don't like Bitcoin because it doesn't fall under the normal currency standards, which is funny. In research of this video, I looked up the definition of currency, and they actually, in some online references, they say that currency has to be created by a government, which is just silly. It just has to be accepted by businesses in order to be a currency. It's what you use to trade for goods and services. Is the real definition of a currency, at least to me. So please check out the video. It's really funny about Bitcoin and how it controls people and they don't control it. Of course the IRS is going to tax any gains that you made from buying or selling Bitcoins. This is not a surprise, but it is a surprise to me that someone's going to argue that it's not a currency because it's being taxed, or the way it's being taxed. No, it's still accepted. I can still trade it, so it's still a currency. So anyway, I hope you found this video at least interesting. I hope you learned a little bit, and I'll see you on YouTube.